Author and illustrator Adam Ellis is best known for his internet comics, BuzzFeed articles and social media presence, but since early August of 2017, he's become known for something a little stranger. He claims to be haunted by the ghost of a deadly little boy named David. In this week's episode, we'll examine Ellis's claims and let you judge if the paranormal activity stands up to scrutiny, or if there are more mundane forces at work. The true beginning of Ellis's story is vague, but it was on August the 7th that he began to tell it in an article he wrote for BuzzFeed, titled The Tale of Dear David, in which he detailed what he says was an otherworldly experience. The professional storyteller started his supernatural tale by saying that his apartment is being haunted by the ghost of a dead little boy, and that while the encounters may have begun in dreams, he believes that they crossed over into the real world. We've collected those initial tweets for you here, and so without further ado, we present Ellis's origin of Dear David, as told through Twitter. We asked our experts if anything stuck out to them as odd in Ellis's initial story, and according to the restricted access team, there are a few interesting red flags. The first is that Ellis readily admits that Dear David first appeared to him during a bout of sleep paralysis. For those of you not familiar with the affliction, sleep paralysis occurs when a person partially awakens from sleep whilst their body is still under the influence of the paralysing effect that keeps us from physically acting out our dreams. It is common to hallucinate in this state, and victims of sleep paralysis often report terrifying nightmare situations, such as an old crone crouching on their chest, stealing their breath. The living nightmares come in a seemingly endless variety of forms, and myriad monsters have been reported during such occurrences. The second is the clear undertones of urban legend tropes present in this story. You've got a deadly ghost who can cause you harm if his arbitrary rules aren't followed, similar to the Bloody Mary legend many of us knew as children. Similarly, a disfigured person who seeks to revenge themselves on others, often simply for being able-bodied, is a reoccurring theme in folklore. Even the fact that David is described as being disfigured in the first place is odd, since a ghost bearing the wounds that ended its life is more a product of fiction than sincere ghost sightings. And of course, the mysterious woman who appeared in Ellis's dream to explain the rules of the haunting to him seemed a bit convenient for our experts. There's even an interactive poll at the bottom of the article to increase audience participation, a common marketing tactic. The initial report reads like Ellis is trying to pique the interest of paranormal enthusiasts in an attempt to gain attention and perhaps more fans and followers on social media. He has, however, provided plenty of what he considers evidence of his experience on social media. Ellis has posted several pictures and videos to Twitter that purport to show ghostly activity happening in and around his apartment. In this next series of photos we're about to show you, Ellis claims to have captured something strange happening just outside his front door. He says that whilst looking out the peephole to investigate his cat's odd attention to the front door, he saw a strange shadow. He took a few photographs, 2 through the peephole and 1 with the door open. He says that a strange shadow exists in one. In addition to those, Ellis has presented a selfie that he says shows a strange face reflected in the glass behind him, and several of what he claims are inexplicably black photos of his own hallway. The shadow through the peephole could of course be practically anything, and a few of the members of the team weren't even able to locate it at first. We encountered a similar problem with the deformed face reflected in the glass, which could very easily be pareidolia. Pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon wherein the human mind responds to a stimulus such as an image by forming a pattern where none exists. Our brains evolved to naturally recognise patterns as a form of self-defence against camouflaged predators, and it's something that we've carried with us into the modern age. The black Polaroids, for which Ellis says he has no explanation, could have easily been faked if it was his intention to do so. It's important to note that a Polaroid exposed to light prematurely would look a pitch black, exactly as the supposedly paranormal picture does that he presents. It would be necessary to take Ellis at his word that the photos were not in any way manipulated. So too would a leap of faith be called for in accepting the videos that Ellis has tweeted to garner support for his story. The first, which he says was captured by a motion camera, shows a wall adornment fall behind a bookshelf, while a green chair rocks nearby, seemingly on its own. There is no proof that the camera is motion activated as claimed, and our experts note that the objects are conveniently located perfectly in frame and focus when they are supposedly supernaturally manipulated. Ellis also posted 2 videos of his cats reacting to what he's claiming is some invisible agent in his apartment. The cats seem to leap around and playfully bat at things like, well, cats are wont to do. So once again, we are left to take Ellis's word that something strange is afoot. But as always, we at Restricted Access believe that each of our discerning viewers must make up their own mind. You've seen the evidence, and ultimately it will be your decision whether or not to find it compelling. So what do you think? Is this evidence of a disfigured demonic boy who has set himself to be guiding an online cartoonist, or an attempt at further fame and social media following by an internet celebrity?